Picture the scene. The stadium is packed, filled with students from all the schools on the island. Everybody is there. It's a small island, so everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows where everybody lives. And I'm running. I don't remember why I was running in a race at the stadium. I don't remember who signed me up for running, who thought I could run. But what I did remember is that as soon as the race started, I fell flat on my face. And I did not want to move. Not only did I fall, but something in my mind said, don't get up. So I didn't get up. I wasn't planning on getting up if somebody had to come along and help me up. How many of you have ever had an embarrassing episode or something in your life that was so embarrassing that you were like, floor, open up and please swallow me up? Everybody has had an embarrassing moment in their life. But what they don't realize is that those embarrassing moments can define the rest of your life, or they can define how you choose to deal with other embarrassing moments in your life, unless you just are used to embarrassment and you don't care. For those of you who are interested in learning how embarrassment can be dealt with and how it is a part of fear, let's continue. My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you for joining my YouTube channel today. So that was my experience, falling flat on my face. All of us, or maybe not all of us, but most of us have embarrassing moments that we can retell to our friends or to our family, or maybe we just keep it to ourselves. I should have kept that story to myself, but for the sake of sharing, I chose to share it with you. Like the lady behind me, she fell down. I mean, I'm trying to look and see which way she fell, but she fell and her feet are up the air. She came down the stairs and she just fell. And sometimes things like that happen in life. But what happens as a result of those embarrassing moments is that we engage in behavior that can then cripple us. Behavior that can stop us from moving forward in our individual lives. For me, I didn't realize it until years later, many years later, when I became a runner, that moment at the stadium had defined my ability to run. I didn't think I could run at all. I didn't realize that I was a long distance runner, but I started running long distances, sometimes 5 miles a day, sometimes 10 miles. I could run and I had this exuberant amount of energy. So I had forgotten that I had that. How could you forget that you were a runner? Because I fell in front of a whole stadium full of people. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you're not getting this. But embarrassment is something that can cripple you. It can actually create a boundary or an obstacle in your life that prevents you from moving forward. Or it could actually prevent you from even trying at all. Some people don't try because they're afraid, they say they're afraid to fail, but what they're really afraid to do is afraid to face the embarrassment that will ensue if they fail. There are a lot of people that don't have that issue. There are many people that have been embarrassed, and because they're public figures or they have positions where they have to keep on showing up, they've had to learn how to overcome embarrassment. For the most of the population, especially young children or teenagers or young people, we don't want to deal with embarrassment as young people. We don't want our peers to laugh at us. I remember thinking when I was on the floor flat on my face, they're all laughing at me. I even imagined that the whole stadium was laughing at me. Our imaginations are active when we're children. But as an adult, how did I internalize this? And how did I forget that I was a runner? It's simple. We forget because that memory serves, like every other emotion that's negative, that memory serves as a catalyst to remind us of why we shouldn't try certain things again. In other words, we hold on to those things so that we don't have to be embarrassed all over again. And embarrassment therefore becomes a boundary, or it becomes a barrier in our lives. So what is embarrassment? Embarrassment is tied to fear. We're afraid of being laughed at. We're afraid of somebody else seeing that we actually messed up or that we failed. Embarrassment is real. It's something that's tied into our fear of failure, like I said earlier, but it's real. So how do you overcome the feeling of being embarrassed even before you start or attempt something? How do you get over your past embarrassment? It took me many years, to run again. And I didn't realize that that one incident was a precursor for me not running. But I was able to run again. And how was I able to run again? Because I wanted to run. And the incident wasn't prompted right away because I had buried it in my subconscious. I had buried it in my psyche. I forgot the embarrassment until the moment when I was faced with something similar. And I was like, wait a minute, I can run. I'm able to do this thing. So the memory that was forced to come forth was supported by the action that I had already determined that I could run. But that's what needs to happen to overcome the embarrassment. You need to perform the action. You need to do the thing that caused you embarrassment in the past. You need to tackle that stuff. You need to be courageous. So when you're faced with embarrassment, which is really fear crippling you, you need to become courageous. You need to overcome the fear by stepping out and saying, I'm going to attempt to do this thing, even though I don't want to. Even though a part of me is literally shuddering at doing it, I have to. So get out there and do it. What else can I tell you? I can tell you all about, you can go to a shrink or a therapist or someone that can help you process the whole aspect of the embarrassment or the episode that caused you to be limited or that created this barrier in your life where you can't move forward like every other fear. But the truth is that you have to find the courage within. You have to say to yourself, I don't want to be limited by my fear. I don't want to be limited by future embarrassment. There's such a thing as past embarrassment. The incident happened in the past and you forgot about it and you buried it somewhere in your subconscious. And then there's the whole aspect of future embarrassment. I don't want to do this because you know what? I can see how this is going to end up. I can see that I'm going to fall down those stairs and my feet are going to be up in the air and people are going to be laughing at me. It is real. What is real is embarrassment. To have a crowd laugh at you is one thing. To have a crowd remember that they laughed at you is another thing. Embarrassment is nothing that nobody else will encounter. It's something that all of us at some point, even if the incident is small or big, it doesn't matter the degree of the incident, embarrassment is real. What we need not to do is to build it up to the point where it sabotages our efforts at living our life, or it sabotages our endeavors to achieve our goals. How would you allow embarrassment to stop you from moving forward? It is real. Think about people who have done something serious in their life, something that people remember, like celebrities or people who are VIPs or people who are in the public arena. That embarrassment is real. It takes a lot of courage to come out and to face people after you've been embarrassed publicly. Imagine being embarrassed and not everybody knows you because you're not a celebrity, but you remember the embarrassment. That's the problem with embarrassment. The problem is that as long as you remember the embarrassment and as long as you nurse that embarrassment, then you're going to remain crippled by the embarrassment. Embarrassment is real. We don't talk a lot about it, but we need to. We need to recognize and realize that is a hindrance to progress. It is a hindrance to growth. You cannot grow past your embarrassment if you hold on to the embarrassment. You can grow past the embarrassment as long as you choose to release the embarrassment. What do you have in your closet, in your closet of skeletons by way of embarrassment that's preventing you from moving forward today? What incident happened to you while you were in high school? Mine was when I was in high school, and that's a very significant and traumatic period, especially when your peers are involved. I don't remember what happened afterwards. Don't ask me, because I wasn't trying to remember, and I don't want to remember that people were laughing at me or people thought that I had failed. All I remember is that I didn't want to get up, and all I know is that I did get up later on. Not then, but I chose to get up later on. That's all that matters. Not what you did then, but what you do now. It's the present that matters. Remember that always. You can't correct the past and you can't count the future. All you have is today. And today is a choice, like everything else. You need to choose to move past your embarrassment. You need to get past the fact that you feel like other people are going to judge you based on that embarrassment, because the only thing that matters is that you do not judge yourself. Judgment is real, but what is real is compassion. Be compassionate towards yourself. Hold yourself, hug yourself, forgive yourself, understand that you are human And it's human to err, it's human to fail, it's human to just mess up. Everybody messes up. And anybody that tells you they don't believe them. Don't believe that they don't mess up, because if they have not, at some point they will. I guarantee it. Get past your embarrassment today. Find the courage within to pursue your goals. Find the courage within to move past the embarrassment, which is really fear. And remember what fear is. Like the gurus say, fear is false expectations appearing real. My name is Ingrid Felton. Please subscribe to the video if you like what I said today. There are other videos in my library on the YouTube channel. Please visit them as well. I hope that my videos are of some assistance to you in some way, and that it did make a difference in your life today. Also, if you want to know more about me, please visit my website, thejourneyoftruth.com. And I look forward to seeing you again. Remember, embarrassment is only as big as the power you give to it. No different than fear. It's camouflage fear. Bye.